Dharma trolls usually have a lot of understanding about Buddhism and Zen, way more than I do, but they don't have much experience. So all they do is just argue their point. I talk about this in tomorrow's video. You'll see it. So then they troll you like, oh, that's not enlightenment, or that's not this. It's this. The Buddha said that, or this sutra said that, right? There's no experience. That's why we have Kongan practice in our tradition, is to see the experience of all of these things that we're talking about. There's many stories of Zen masters who struggled with the exact same thing. One was Doksan, who's very famous. And he was actually, before he was practicing Zen, kind of an expert in the Diamond Sutra. In fact, not only did he read the Dharma Sutra and have a good understanding of it, he actually memorized each page. So if you say, all right, what did it say in page 45? Then he would be able to tell you exactly what the Diamond Sutra said. So once when he was at his temple, after a lecture, he heard about these Zen monks who, they were from the South, by the way, that were sitting on the floor, staring at the wall, and they would get enlightenment. He thought that was the stupidest thing he ever heard. So what did he do? He decided to pack his bags and walk over to the South so he can teach the monks the Diamond Sutra. So on his way, his journey there, he ran into an older woman who owned a tea shop. And she recognized him right away. And she said to him, oh, you're Doksan, the great Diamond Sutra master. He said, yes, I am. That's wonderful. I'm glad you come to visit. But something's on my mind. I want to ask you a question. So Doksan said, well, why not? You can ask me anything. So she said, well, I'm going to ask you a question. If you can answer, your lunch is free. If you cannot answer, I cannot serve you any lunch. And he got very upset, right? So this kind of Dharma troll style is all about pride and ego. I understand everything and you don't. So his anger started building up. What? Like he felt threatened. Especially it was a woman too at that time, an older woman who was a layperson, if you want to add that on top of that. So very upset. He thought she was disrespecting him. So he finally said, all right, ask me. And she said, okay, there is a line in the Diamond Sutra that says, past mind cannot get enlightenment. Present mind cannot get enlightenment. And future mind cannot get enlightenment. So, with what mind will you eat your lunch? And Doksan just was hammered because that wasn't in the Diamond Sutra. So he started looking verse by verse, page by page, looking for the answer to that. But because his experience was only understanding, he had no experience of the Diamond Sutra, he could not answer. So she said, you can't even answer this simple question. So how are you going to teach these monks in the South? It's a very interesting story, right? And again, it's mostly about pride and this ego and being attached to understanding. Like it really has to be our own experience. Remember, thinking is not the problem. Understanding is not the problem. It's our attachment to them. That's what creates an issue. So that's why we say, if you do not want to be attached to these things, you have to experience the mind before those things. Then you see the nature of those things. You see the nature of thinking, the nature of ego, the nature of understanding, right? You see the nature of it. And then you're free to use anything in any moment to help this world. But if we're attached, we can't see clearly, which means we can't respond clearly.